There we go. It's getting a little chilly now here in Texas, but it's all right. But the movie for October 28th was Until Dawn. No expectation going in. Like the only thing I really knew about it was it's based on a video game, and I remember at the time it being like a really big deal, right? People thought it was like a really cool game, um, and I never played it. I think I watched like a full play or whatever like let's play on it. But man, that it feels so long ago, so it's kind of weird that a movie about it is coming out now. Um, it was funny too because at the end of it, I saw the director. I was like David F. Sandberg, and then my mind starts racing. I'm like, man, what did this dude do? Lights Out, and the the short film that made Lights Out into a movie to begin with. Not really a bad director, honestly. I feel like he has a good eye, which is why this movie looks pretty good. Um, and everything about it is just good to me at least. Yeah, because just like straight off the bat, I found this really enjoyable. I liked it a lot. And it actually gets into it quite fast, which I appreciate. Like it gets into it like maybe 20 minutes in, so a lot faster than most normal movies, right? Most movies usually take about 30 minutes to like really like find its spot or like to get into the scares, right? This one gets in like about 20 minutes, so pretty cool for that. I like a lot of the visual effects stuff. Really cool. I mean, you got a couple like slasher type people in there, but it never feels like a slasher. More of like a creature feature slash like monster mashup. Just because you have like so many of these like random like elements thrown in there. But I feel like it balances out. Again, like I have no clue about the game. Like the only creature I know in the game is like the like it has to do with the Wendigo, right? I don't know the lore. I don't know shit. Uh, and I feel like that's why I liked it a lot more, right? I mean, it's funny. This is the first like video game adaptation that we've talked about so far this month. I say so far, but it's probably going to be the only one we talk about this month. Um, but like the video game adaptation stuff, it's always so bizarre, right? I mean, like recent example with like The Last of Us. It's always two things. It's always this is too similar to the game, so just play the game as a criticism, or this is way too different. Like, what's even the point? Because I just want to see what I've already played. You know what I mean? Both complaints I think are kind of I don't know. You can see all sides of it, right? Which is like the weird thing, but a lot of people will just like throw these criticisms just to be negative purely, and they can't just like appreciate the small stuff. Um, and I mean, in this, like again, like I have no like frame of reference. So this is like one of those ones where I actually like looked at comments. I was like, I want to see what people think. And then yeah, I pretty much saw what I expected. Kind of rage baited myself a little bit because they pissed me off because of how accurate I predicted it. But a lot of it is just like on Letterbox specifically. A lot of it is just like, oh, 1 star, half star, like nothing like the game. Like has nothing to do with lore, this, that. Like where are the characters? Just like dumb shit like that. Like if somebody literally gave the movie a 1 star just for saying it didn't have snow, it's like what kind of fucking complaint is that? You know what I mean? It's like okay, well, what about the rest of the movie, right? That one thing warrants 1 star. I don't know. That's why I hate Letterbox sometimes, man. It's just people like trying to be funny, or people like nitpicking the fuck out of shit, or people just like having like the most bizarre standards, but it's neither here nor there. Let's talk about how much I enjoyed it. Like I said, a lot of the visual effects stuff I enjoyed. Just like really, again, like don't know if the game is this gory, but the movie's pretty gory. I'm surprised, and they do like a bunch of like random shit too. I mean, obviously you have like people getting killed and stuff in pretty horrific ways, like dismembered and all that, and it's like man, that's kind of crazy. But the one that shocked me, right, is like whenever they drink the water. Spoiler. They drink the water and they just fucking explode. Quite crazy, and out of nowhere, honestly. Well, for me at least. Like again, I feel like I have to keep saying, but never played the game, so I mean, is that something that happens in the game? I really don't know. Yeah, but when it happens in this, it's like, oh, what the hell? But sort of in a good way. It's not goofy, but just like sort of shocking, and like a lightly humorous way because it's so over the top. Like man, they like barely drink any water and they just fucking burst like a pimple. Um, yeah, but then it's especially brutal for the Megan character. Man, she goes through it this whole movie. She gets it the worst for some reason. But shout out to her, honestly. I realized, yeah, because I was like, man, like what else has she been in? Just because she like kind of caught my eye, right? But she voices Zoe and K-pop Demon Hunter, so I was like, oh, okay, interesting. That's interesting. Um, but yeah, I mean, aside from that, everybody else is like solid enough, right? That was actually another funny review I saw too. It's just like, man, everybody in this movie is so hot, and I mean, kind of agree. Like they're all like really attractive because I feel like this is like just like a weird side tangent almost, but like something I was thinking, like it's almost distracting at some points. It's like, man, all these attractive people are just getting murdered. But because usually in horror stuff, like the protagonists, protagonist or protagonists are usually like handsome, and then all the people they want to kill off are people like us, right? Just like normal looking people. Um, so I thought it was funny in this one. It's just like, yeah, all of them are like really attractive, and all of them just die brutally a lot of the time. Uh, I don't know, so kind of funny. What else? Yeah, man, I just keep thinking about like all the effects stuff. I think it's really cool. There's one shot specifically I really like, and I was watching this with some people, but one of them told me that it's very similar to how it works in the game, where I don't know if like the set piece is like 1 to 1, but I mean in this it's like a flashing red light, and like the Wendigo slowly gets closer like after every single pulse. But I mean, correct me if I'm wrong because I haven't seen Lights Out in a really long time. But David F. Sandberg, he does something similar in that, no? Obviously, because like with Lights Out, it's like every single time you like flick on and off the light, like that's when the demon appears. But somebody's at like the closest to the camera, like in a long hallway, and I guess like the demon or whatever it was is like at the very end of it. So every single time they flick the light, it slowly gets closer. I think, but yeah, that seemed very him coded from what I remember. So I was like, yeah, but good shot, right? Again, like all the lore stuff, have no clue. I really, really don't. But I mean, for like what they establish, it's it works for me, right? All this like weird like science experiment sort of like stuff going on. It's like okay, like kind of going for something, but like at its core, I just think it's like sort of an enjoyable movie, like all around. Not even lying. Um, again, like I feel like I've said it before, but I like when things are simple, and for the most part, this is pretty simple, unless you can't like wrap your head around the like the cycle shit, right? But I think for the most part, it's like fairly simple. So for me, it works. Uh, Not perfect, obviously, not perfect. Uh, I think there's like bits that they could have like explained a bit better, because I mean the rules kind of happen as the characters like point them out. They're like, oh yeah, I noticed this, and like things kind of shift in that favor. Uh, I don't know, just like information being relayed mainly, or like how certain things like work in the context of this space. And then another thing too, just like concepts being introduced like sort of late into the movie. I feel like they kind of flounder around and get killed like over and over again before they finally decide to be a bit more proactive. Sort of reminds me of the movie Remember that we talked about earlier in the month, the Japanese film, where it's kind of like a similar premise. Like they just like relive the same day over and over again. Well, I mean, in this they relive like the same hour or so. But yeah, I mean, initially not being very proactive to being intensely proactive about it, and just like rules being introduced or like concepts being introduced so they can like win in the end, right? And I mean that's kind of how this works. Like the main example is just the like phone recording stuff. It's like, oh well, I've actually been recording stuff the whole time, like maybe this will help us. And again, that's like thrown in there like last like 30 minutes just so like they have somewhere to go, or like some like something to go off of so they can actually like win. So again, I don't know, that's like not necessarily nitpicky. That's just like a genuine complaint on my end. Uh, but solid for me personally. I mean, again, like if y'all have played this, like played the game, I mean, I know the game is like a lot different. Like there's a whole different cast. I don't know if there's any what's the word? Like tie-in necessarily. But I guess that's another complaint people have too, right? It's just the fact that it has the same name. I feel like you could have called this something different, and I feel like people would have liked it more simply because it doesn't share the name, which I think is like kind of bullshit, honestly. But I feel like that's like a complaint that comes across a lot, especially with like adaptations, mainly. But I mean, again, you have this like uh, IP that's like set up ahead of time, so there's like expectations going in. So when it isn't like that, I can understand the disappointment. But at the same time, you do need to take it just like case by case. I don't know, just my opinion on the matter. But yeah, I guess with how positive I've sort of been, right? I'd recommend it for sure. It's a good time, especially if you got people to watch it with, or even just watching it on your own. I think it's like a solid watch. Maybe even like decent rewatch, low key. But yeah, I guess that's it. Take care.